The streets are buzzing, the phone lines are lighting up, and fans everywhere are talking about the latest explosive fallout between hip-hop heavyweights Jim Jones and Cam'ron. What started as a simple voice note from Cam'ron to Chrissy, the woman who's always been at the center of their complicated triangle, has spiraled into a full-blown drama storm that no one saw coming. Emotions ran high, friendships were tested, and the family was left divided like never before. Jim Jones, known for his usually cool demeanor, snapped in a way that shocked everyone close to the situation. The question on everyone's lips now is, what exactly did Cam'ron say in that voice note? And why did it push Jim over the edge? In this video, we're diving deep into the raw, unfiltered drama that's tearing apart one of hip-hop's most famous circles. From heated arguments to surprising betrayals, and from public call-outs to private reconciliations. This story has everything you crave in reality TV: intense emotions, jaw-dropping revelations, and a cliffhanger that'll leave you begging for more. Stay tuned as we unpack every fiery detail of the feud sparked by one message, and what it means for the tangled web of loyalties around Jim, Cam'ron, and Chrissy. You don't want to miss a second of this. It all started when Cam'ron sent a voice note to Chrissy late one night. The message wasn't just a casual check-in or some friendly catch-up. No, it was loaded with tension, barely disguised frustration, and something deeper, something that immediately set off alarms for anyone who heard it. Fans who got wind of the voice note quickly realized this was no ordinary exchange. The streets were buzzing with speculation. What was Cam'ron really trying to say, and why did Chrissy's reaction seem so volatile? What made the situation explosive was the history between the three of them. Jim Jones, Cam'ron, and Chrissy had long been caught up in a complex web of loyalties, rivalries, and unspoken resentments. To outsiders, it might have looked like an unbreakable bond, but insiders knew better. Tensions had been simmering under the surface for months, if not years. And Cam'ron's voice note was like throwing a match onto dry kindling. The message itself was leaked at least partially by an anonymous source close to Chrissy. In the voice note, Cam'ron's voice was tense, a mix of anger and pleading. He accused Chrissy of playing both sides, of stirring trouble between him and Jim, and of manipulating situations to her own advantage. You're causing drama where none should exist, Cam'ron said, his tone sharp but desperate. We've been through too much to let this nonsense tear us apart. Chrissy's response, though not recorded, was later described by insiders as icy and dismissive. Reportedly, she fired back, questioning Cam'ron's loyalty and reminding him that Jim Jones had always been the bigger player in their circle, implying Cam'ron was out of line for challenging that. This back and forth, even if private at first, quickly spilled out in whispers and text messages, igniting a chain reaction that neither Cam'ron nor Jim Jones anticipated. When Jim Jones finally got wind of the voice note, emotions ran high. Sources say he was blindsided and furious not just at Cam'ron, but also at Chrissy. Apparently, Jim had trusted both of them implicitly, but hearing Cam'ron's accusations made him question everything. In a rare public display of frustration, Jim reportedly snapped during a private gathering with close friends and family, lashing out at anyone who dared defend Cam'ron or downplay the situation. This isn't just petty squabbling. Jim is said to have declared, voice trembling, with anger, it's betrayal. We're supposed to be a family, but some people just want to tear it down brick by brick. Friends close to Jim say he was deeply hurt by what he saw as Cam'ron's disrespect, especially since the voice note made it clear that Cam'ron believed Jim was the root of the problems. The fallout was immediate. Social media exploded, with fans picking sides, amplifying every rumor, every snippet of conversation, and every heated exchange. Some loyal to Jim Jones slammed Cam'ron as disloyal and bitter, while others sided with Cam, claiming he was finally speaking truths no one else dared to mention. Meanwhile, Chrissy found herself caught in the middle. With rumors swirling about her motives and her relationships with both men, the family was left divided like never before. Even close friends who once enjoyed easy camaraderie were now hesitant to speak openly. Whispers of double-crossing and secret alliances became the norm. It wasn't just a clash of personalities, it was a full-blown identity crisis for a group that had long been seen as unshakable. As the dust settled from that initial eruption, more shocking revelations began to emerge. Apparently, Cameron's Voicenote wasn't just about personal grievances, it hinted at business betrayals and money disputes that had been carefully kept under wraps. Sources revealed that behind the scenes, financial tensions had been brewing for months, with accusations of mismanaged funds and backdoor deals. Cameron's frustration stemmed not only from personal feelings, but from a growing sense of being cheated out of what he was owed. The plot thickened when an insider leaked details of a secret meeting that took place just days before the Voicenote surfaced. Reportedly, Jim Jones confronted Cameron in a private room, demanding answers about his loyalty and his intentions with Chrissy. Emotions ran high during the confrontation, with voices raised and accusations thrown like daggers. "I've carried this crew on my back for years," Jim allegedly said, his voice harsh. "And now you want to question me? After everything," Cameron fired back, his tone equally fierce. "I'm tired of being in your shadow, Jim. It's time you recognized I'm not just some sidekick." Chrissy was said to have been present during parts of the argument, trying to mediate but ultimately failing. The family ties that once bound them now felt like chains. And everyone involved knew this was a turning point. Fans watching from the sidelines felt the intensity. Social media posts flooded in with hashtags trending that hinted at the unraveling of one of hip-hop's closest knit groups. Reactions ranged from shock to sympathy to outright condemnation. One fan tweeted, "Never thought I'd see Jim Jones and Cameron at each other's throats like this. The family's really falling apart." Another posted, "Chrissy's caught in the middle and it's heartbreaking. Who do you even trust anymore?" Amid the chaos, a surprise twist came from an unexpected source, a longtime friend of Jim Jones who suddenly went public with damning claims. This friend alleged that Chrissy had been playing both sides for years, secretly feeding information to Cameron while assuring Jim of her loyalty. The revelation sent shockwaves through their circle, with many questioning everything they thought they knew. "She's been a double agent," the friend said in an exclusive interview, "always looking out for number one." Jim Jones's reaction was immediate and brutal. He called the allegations the final straw and vowed to cut ties with anyone involved in the deceit. Cameron, meanwhile, remained silent publicly but was reportedly working behind the scenes to clear his name and salvage what was left of their fractured relationships. But the drama didn't stop there. Another bombshell dropped when text messages between Cameron and Chrissy were leaked online. These messages revealed a side of their relationship no one had expected, full of heated arguments, moments of tenderness, and hints of a deeper betrayal involving other members of their circle. One particularly explosive text from Cameron read, "You crossed a line I never thought you would. This isn't just about us anymore." Chrissy's reply was cold and calculated. "Maybe you never really knew me." These texts only fanned the flames of speculation. Were they former lovers, business partners, or something even more complicated? The family was left scrambling to respond. Publicists were busy crafting statements, and private conversations turned into intense negotiations about how to handle the fallout. It became clear that this was no longer just a personal issue, it was threatening their entire legacy. Amid the turmoil, Jim Jones took an unexpected step. He invited Cameron and Chrissy to a private meeting in an effort to settle their differences. The meeting was described by those present as tense but necessary, with all parties forced to confront the raw emotions and harsh truths that had been building for months. "We can't keep tearing each other apart," Jim said. "This ends now, but the wounds were deep. Cameron and Chrissy both made accusations that cut close to the bone, revealing long-held resentments and fears. "You've always controlled everything," Cameron said to Jim. "It's suffocating." Chrissy, meanwhile, turned to Cameron with a look of betrayal. "You promised loyalty, but you've been talking behind my back. The room was filled with an uneasy silence after that. No one knew if this was the start of healing or just another chapter in the ongoing saga outside. Fans waited with bated breath for the next move. Every social media post, every interview, every cryptic comment was dissected for clues. Rumors of new alliances, secret deals, and potential reconciliations kept the story alive and unpredictable. But perhaps the most surprising twist came when a new voice entered the fray, mutual friend who had remained silent until now. This person claimed to have evidence that the real source of the conflict wasn't between Jim, Cameron, and Chrissy at all, but someone lurking in the shadows, pulling strings to pit them against each other. "There's a third party, this friend," said in an exclusive interview. "Someone who benefits from our division." The revelation sent shockwaves through the circle. Is there a mastermind behind the scenes? Someone who had cleverly used old wounds and new betrayals to dismantle one of hip-hop's most legendary crews? As this new mystery unfolded, one thing was clear. The drama sparked by Cameron's Voicenote was only the beginning. What started as a simple message had exposed fractures that ran deep in secrets that refused to stay buried. And while Jim Jones had snapped and tempers had flared, the story was far from over. Friends, family, and fans alike were left wondering who would emerge from the ashes of this drama. Could the fractured family find a way back to trust? Or was this the end of an era? Stay tuned, because the next chapters promise even more shocking twists, emotional confrontations, and the kind of reality TV drama that only life and hip-hop can deliver. The air was thick with tension when Jim, Cameron, and Chrissy finally sat down for that long-anticipated meeting. The private room was quiet except for the occasional rustle of paper and the low murmur of voices trying to keep the peace. Everyone knew this wasn't just about clearing the air, it was a crossroads. Years of friendship, trust, and history hung in the balance, and nobody was sure who would walk away intact. Jim opened the discussion, his voice steady but heavy with emotion. "I don't want us to tear each other apart over rumors and half-truths. This family has been through too much." Cameron's eyes didn't waver. Maybe it's not rumors when the truth's been ignored for so long. Chrissy sat between them, her fingers tightly gripping the edge of the table. "We've all made mistakes," she said quietly. But the weight behind her words made it clear this wasn't just an apology. It was a warning. The conversation quickly turned to the Voicenote. Jim demanded answers, wanting to know exactly why Cameron had sent it and why now. Cameron admitted he'd been holding in frustration for a long time. "I felt like I was being pushed to the side, Jim. Like my loyalty was a given, but my worth wasn't recognized." Jim shook his head. "You know, that's not true. I've had your back through everything." "Have you?" Cameron shot back. "Because it sure didn't feel like it when business deals went sideways and I wasn't even consulted." The room bristled with the raw honesty neither wanted but both needed. Chrissy's voice broke in. "And what about me? Do you both act like I'm the enemy? Oh, maybe I'm just tired of being caught in the crossfire." Jim looked at her, surprised by the sudden vulnerability. "We never meant to make you feel that way. Intentions don't always match reality," she replied, voice trembling as the meeting wore on. Old wounds reopened. Accusations flew, sometimes veiled, sometimes outright. Cameron revealed he'd been frustrated for months by what he saw as Jim's controlling nature, not just with their business, but with their personal lives. "You don't let anyone breathe without checking in, controlling every move. It's suffocating." Jim's jaw tightened. "Leadership requires control, Cam. You act like it's a bad thing." Chrissy chimed in. "Sometimes leadership feels more like dictatorship." The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. But amid the chaos, a flicker of hope appeared when Jim softened, saying, "Maybe I have been too rigid. Maybe I forgot to listen." Kamran nodded slowly, the edge in his voice dulling. "I just want respect, and for us to be honest with each other." Chrissy took a deep breath. "We all want that." The meeting ended with no dramatic breakthroughs, but a mutual understanding that things had to change. Yet, as they left the room, the questions lingered. Could this fragile truce survive the outside world? Would their fractured family find a way to heal? Or was the damage already done? Outside the private walls, the drama played out on a larger stage. Social media continued to buzz, with fans dissecting every word from the meeting and weighing in with their opinions. Some praised Jim for trying to keep the peace, while others applauded Kamran for speaking his truth. Chrissy's role remained hotly debated. Was she a peacemaker, a manipulator, or something in between? In the midst of this public frenzy, a new twist came to light. Rumors surfaced about a hidden alliance between Kamran and another member of Jim Jones's circle. Someone unexpected who had reportedly been feeding Kamran insider information and encouraging his growing frustration. This revelation shocked many and raised suspicions about just how deep the fractures went. Sources said the ally was someone Jim trusted implicitly, making the betrayals sting even more. It's like a knife in the back. One close friend told us, "When your circle starts to crumble from the inside, there's nowhere safe." Meanwhile, Jim Jones wasn't sitting still. He was reportedly gathering his closest advisors to strategize next steps, both to protect his interests and to try to repair the damage. Insiders say he felt blindsided not only by Kamran's Voicenote, but by the leaks and the public fallout that followed. "Jim's a fighter," one source said. "He's not someone who'll just roll over. This is personal for him." Chrissy, caught between the two, found herself in an impossible spot. Friends described her as emotionally exhausted, struggling to keep her own relationships intact while managing the storm swirling around her. Some speculate that her loyalty to both men has come at a heavy cost. And the pressure is beginning to show. She's been carrying so much weight, a close confidant revealed. It's like she's walking a tightrope with no safety net. Saga took another dramatic turn when a surprise voice emerged from the past, a former member of Jim Jones's crew who had parted ways years ago but suddenly stepped back into the spotlight. This figure claimed to have witnessed some of the early tensions and hinted that the roots of the conflict went deeper than anyone realized. "This isn't just about one Voicenote or a few bad feelings," the ex-crew member said in an exclusive chat. "There have been cracks for a long time, and it's about power, control, and betrayal." Their statements stirred more speculation, with fans and insiders debating what exactly was being hidden. Was there a bigger game at play? A power struggle that had been brewing beneath the surface, waiting to explode? Amid all this, the media frenzy intensified. Tabloids and entertainment news outlets jumped on every leaked message, every ambiguous social media post. Some reports even suggested the possibility of legal battles brewing, hinting at contract disputes and allegations of financial mismanagement. Though neither Jim nor Kamran publicly confirmed these claims, the speculation only added fuel to the fire. As if the drama wasn't enough, unexpected support came from surprising corners. A popular influencer with close ties to the hip-hop community voiced solidarity with Jim Jones, calling him a pillar of strength and urging fans to give the man a break. This statement sparked backlash from Kamran supporters, who accused the influencer of being biased and ignoring Cam's side of the story. The online war escalated quickly, with hashtags trending on both sides and fans heatedly debating who was right, who was wrong, and who was just caught in the middle. The drama that had started with one Voicenote now felt like a full-blown reality show, complete with plot twists, alliances, and betrayals that kept the audience hooked. Back in the private world of Jim, Kamran and Chrissy, the emotional toll was evident. Close friends described late-night phone calls filled with tears, frustration, and moments of clarity. "They're all hurting," one insider said, "but they also want to fix it. It's complicated." Even with the efforts to repair fences, cracks kept appearing. Cameron's frustration didn't fade overnight. And Chrissy's attempts to mediate sometimes only seemed to add fuel to the fire. Jim, meanwhile, balanced his role as leader and peacemaker with the reality that his authority was being questioned like never before. One of the most dramatic moments came during a private party where tensions boiled over. Eyewitnesses reported a heated exchange between Jim and Cameron in front of friends, with voices raised and words exchanged that left many shocked. "You think you can just walk away and forget the past?" Jim reportedly shouted. "Maybe I'm done pretending." Cameron fired back. Chrissy tried to step in, but the argument ended abruptly, with Cameron storming out, leaving the room buzzing with whispers and speculation. The fallout from that night lingered for weeks. Some believed it marked a turning point, either the beginning of the end or the moment when real change had to happen. Through it all, one thing remained clear. The relationship between Jim Jones, Cameron, and Chrissy was no longer the simple story anyone thought it was. It was layered with secrets, pain, love, and betrayal. And it was far from over. The fans who had watched eagerly from the sidelines found themselves emotionally invested, sharing theories, taking sides, and wondering what the next chapter would bring. Would Jim and Cameron find a way back to friendship? Could Chrissy navigate the treacherous waters and emerge whole? Or was this just the beginning of a saga that would redefine their legacies forever? Stay tuned, because the next part promises to uncover even more jaw-dropping secrets, emotional breakdowns, and shocking alliances that will leave you on the edge of your seat. The tension from the private party was still raw when the next bombshell dropped. A leaked text message exchange between Jim Jones and Cameron surfaced online. Fans immediately blew up over the apparent hostility mixed with moments of reluctant respect. The texts revealed how deeply personal the feud had become, with lines like "you broke the code" and "don't pretend you're the victim here," sparking intense debate. Jim's single quotes as Camp claimed the messages were taken out of context, saying they were part of a heated but ultimately private conversation meant to work things out. Cameron's side, meanwhile, insisted the texts showed exactly how betrayed and frustrated he felt, calling Jim's leadership overbearing and outdated. The leak caused an uproar. Social media exploded with fans dissecting every word, every emoji. Influencers weighed in, some backing Jim as the elder statesman who deserved respect, others rallying behind Cameron as the underdog finally standing up for himself. Chrissy, caught in the eye of the storm, posted a vague but emotional statement. On her own social channels, sometimes the hardest battles are fought in silence, hoping for peace soon. The cryptic message only fueled speculation. Was she signaling a possible breakup, or was it a call for calm? Meanwhile, rumors started swirling about a third party trying to mediate. It's a mysterious figure from the music industry was said to be working behind the scenes, attempting to broker peace between the warring factions. Insiders described secret meetings and late-night calls. But no details about the identity of this peacemaker ever emerged as the drama unfolded publicly. The private lives of the trio were unraveling just as fast. Sources close to Jim said he had become increasingly isolated, relying more on a small circle of loyalists and distancing himself from those who questioned him. "He's feeling the pressure," one friend confided. "But he's not the type to back down." Cameron, on the other hand, was reportedly planning a major comeback, not just in music, but in business and influence. Friends close to him said the Voicenote was only the beginning, a statement of intent that he wasn't going to be sidelined any longer. He's hungry and ready to prove himself. An insider revealed Chrissy's role grew even more complicated when rumors surfaced that she was negotiating a solo project, possibly a reality series focused on her perspective. This fueled speculation that she might be trying to carve out her own identity away from the drama. or perhaps leverage it for her own benefit. The next twist came when a leaked voicemail from Jim to a close associate was revealed. In it, Jim expressed both frustration and vulnerability, admitting that the feud was taking a toll on his mental health and his family. "I didn't sign up for all this drama," he said. "I just wanted to build something lasting." Fans and commentators were shocked by the raw honesty. Some praised Jim for opening up, while others saw it as a sign of weakness. The divide between supporters of Jim and Cameron only deepened. Then came the accusations. Cameron S. Camp alleged that Jim had been sabotaging some of his recent projects, using his influence to block deals and partnerships. Jim's team vehemently denied the claims, calling them desperate attempts to smear a respected artist. Accusations sparked a new round of heated exchanges, both in private and on social media. Friends close to the situation said emotions ran so high that some longtime allies started choosing sides, fracturing the once tight-knit community. Chrissy, meanwhile, was reportedly caught in a particularly painful dilemma. Insiders said she was being pressured by both men, Jim asking her to stand firm by his side, Cameron urging her to help heal the rift. Sources described her as exhausted, torn between loyalty, love, and self-preservation. One night, in what some called a dramatic breakthrough, Jim, Cameron, and Chrissy were spotted together at an exclusive club in New York City. The paparazzi caught them sharing tense but civil moments, hinting at a possible reconciliation. Fans were ecstatic. Could this be the turning point? But just as quickly as hope rose, it was dashed. Rumors leaked the next day that the meeting ended abruptly, with no agreement reached and tempers flaring behind closed doors. Sources said Cameron left frustrated, while Jim was seen later confiding in close friends about his disappointment. The roller coaster continued. When a surprise announcement hit, Jim Jones was planning a new album release, described as raw and personal, apparently inspired by the recent turmoil. Industry insiders speculated the album would address the conflict head-on. Promising some explosive lyrics, Cameron didn't stay quiet for long either. Word spread that he was working on a diss track aimed directly at Jim, with cryptic lines teasing a reckoning and exposing the truth. Fans couldn't wait for the inevitable showdown. The drama wasn't just contained to music. Business deals, endorsements, and even charitable initiatives linked to Jim and Cameron were reportedly affected. Partners were said to be wary, hesitant to get caught in the middle of a public feud. Chrissy's rumored reality project took on new significance as speculation grew that it would reveal behind-the-scenes details no one else had access to. Insiders said the project was already generating buzz in Hollywood circles, with networks reportedly vying for the rights. Amid all this, an unexpected voice entered the conversation, a respected elder in the hip-hop community who publicly called for peace, warning that the infighting could damage legacies and harm younger artists watching from the sidelines. "This isn't just their fight," the elder said. "It's about the culture." Fans rallied behind the call for unity, flooding social media with messages urging Jim, Cameron, and Chrissy to put aside their differences for the greater good. But the drama took an even darker turn when anonymous sources hinted at financial disputes linked to the feud. Allegations emerged that large sums of money had gone missing from joint ventures, sparking whispers of betrayal and legal battles. Lawyers for both sides denied the claims, but the rumors added another layer of intrigue and suspicion. As the story continued to unfold, insiders revealed moments of quiet reflection. Jim was reportedly seeking counseling to manage stress. Cameron was focusing on creative outlets, and Chrissy was spending time away from the spotlight to regroup. The public watched, captivated by every new development, every leaked message, every emotional interview. Would the trio find a way to heal the wounds? Or was this saga destined to tear them apart for good? Stay tuned for the next part, where more secrets will be exposed, alliances will shift, and the stakes will only get higher. The fallout from the leaked texts and the aborted reconciliation meeting left the trio more divided than ever. The public wasn't the only audience watching. Inside sources revealed that the tension had seeped into their closest circles, fracturing friendships and alliances that once seemed unbreakable. Friends and family found themselves caught in the crossfire, forced to choose sides or risk losing both. Chrissy, in particular, bore the brunt of this pressure. Insiders described her as exhausted and emotionally drained, struggling to keep the peace while maintaining her own sanity. "She's trying to be the glue," one confidante explained. "But sometimes it feels like she's holding together a house built on sand. Rumors swirled about secret late-night phone calls between Chrissy and Cameron. Some claimed they were plotting ways to protect their own interests, while others believed they were trying to mend fences with Jim. Whatever the truth, these conversations only added fuel to the speculation fire. At the same time, Jim Jones was reportedly ramping up his efforts to reclaim control. Sources close to him said he had assembled a new team of advisors, sharp, strategic minds brought in to help navigate the increasingly complex situation. "Jim knows he can't go it alone anymore," a trusted insider said. "He's playing the long game." Cameron, meanwhile, wasn't sitting idle. Word on the street was that he had begun networking aggressively, reconnecting with old collaborators and building new partnerships. "He's determined to prove he's still a force to be reckoned with," an associate revealed. "This drama has only made him hungrier." Amid the chaos, a surprising development occurred. An olive branch from an unlikely source, a respected mutual friend, known for staying above the drama, reached out to both Jim and Cameron with a message of peace and unity. The friend's intervention sparked hope that the deepening rift might one day be healed. However, not everyone was ready to forgive. A leaked conversation revealed Jim expressing deep bitterness over what he called betrayal disguised as honesty. His words painted a picture of a man struggling to reconcile the past with the present. "I thought we were family," he lamented, "but some wounds cut too deep." Cameron's response, overheard by a bystander, was equally intense. "Family, you don't control me. It's time for us to evolve or die." Chrissy's role in all this grew more complex as rumors emerged of her starting a new business venture, reportedly backed by some of Jim's rivals. This revelation sent shockwaves through their shared circle, with many questioning her loyalties. Was she truly trying to stay neutral, or was she quietly aligning herself against Jim? The speculation led to heated exchanges on social media. Fans and followers picked sides fiercely, with hashtags trending to support or criticize each key player. The drama, once confined to private conversations, had exploded into a full-blown public spectacle. As the tension escalated, more unexpected twists came to light. A leaked video surfaced showing Cameron and Jim having a heated argument backstage. At a recent event, the footage was raw and unfiltered, capturing a moment of vulnerability and rage that left fans stunned. "You think I'm the villain?" Cameron shouted. "Look in the mirror." Jim's reply was cold and sharp. "I'm the one who built this empire. Don't forget that." The video went viral, adding a new layer to the already complicated story. Commentators dissected every word and gesture, analyzing body language and speculating about underlying causes. Chrissy's reaction to the leak was telling. She posted a cryptic message online. "Sometimes the hardest battles happen behind closed doors, but hope remains." Despite the chaos, moments of genuine connection appeared. A rare interview with a longtime mutual friend revealed that beneath the public feuding, there was still love and respect buried but not gone. "They're family," the friend said softly. "That's why it hurts so much." Meanwhile, legal whispers began to circulate. Sources hinted at the possibility of lawsuits related to breach of contract and financial disputes, while neither Jim nor Cameron confirmed these claims. The threat of legal battles loomed large. Fans speculated wildly about what these disputes might involve: money, rights to music, even ownership of shared projects. It's a potential fallout. only added to the intrigue, raising questions about how far the feud might go. Amid all this, Chrissy's rumored reality show took on new meaning. Insiders said the project was evolving into a raw and honest look at the drama from her perspective, promising revelations and emotional moments never before shared. The show, if it aired, could shift public perception dramatically. Some believed it would humanize Chrissy, showing her struggles and resilience. Others worried it might fan the flames, exposing secrets that could make reconciliation impossible. As the weeks passed, the cycle of hope and heartbreak continued. Tentative peace talks broke down. New rumors sparked fresh arguments. Alliances shifted unpredictably. But through it all, the trio remained inextricably linked, bound by history, family, and a shared passion for music and success. Fans remained glued to their screens, hungry for every update, every secret, every twist in the saga. Would the next chapter bring healing? Or was this drama destined to spiral even further out of control? Stay tuned for the final part, where the most shocking revelations and emotional confrontations await. The drama had reached a boiling point, and everyone was bracing for the next big explosion. But what came next wasn't just another public spat. It was something far more personal, far more painful. An exclusive leak revealed a private voicemail from Chrissy to a close friend. Recorded in the middle of the night, her voice was raw, shaky, and desperate. "I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this," she said. "They're tearing each other apart, and I'm right in the middle. Sometimes I feel like the villain just for trying to survive." Fans and insiders were stunned. This wasn't the confident, polished Chrissy they knew. This was someone broken by the weight of the feud, trapped between two powerful men she cared about. Shortly after the voicemail surfaced, Jim Jones made an unexpected public appearance at a charity event. In a rare moment of vulnerability, he spoke about the toll the conflict had taken. "We're supposed to be family, supposed to have each other's backs," he said. "But sometimes the people closest to you hurt you the most. It's hard to keep your head up when the fight is inside your own circle." His words echoed across social media, sparking waves of sympathy, but also renewed debate. Many wondered if this was a sign Jim was ready to mend fences or simply venting frustration. Cam Ron responded in his own way, a cryptic post on his Instagram that read, "The past is a shadow. The future is a choice. Time will tell who stands and who falls." The message left fans guessing. Was he signaling hope, warning, or something else? Meanwhile, Chrissy's rumored reality project officially went into production. Sources said the show would be an unfiltered look at the emotional roller coaster she'd endured, including never-before-seen footage and interviews. The announcement divided fans. Some cheered her bravery for telling her story, while others accused her of exploiting the drama for fame and profit. As filming progressed, tensions behind the scenes escalated. Insiders described moments of explosive confrontation between Chrissy and her producers, who pushed for more sensational content. She wanted to keep it real, but not at the cost of her sanity, one source revealed. The pressure took a toll on Chrissy's health. Friends said she struggled with anxiety and sleepless nights, caught between her personal struggles and public expectations. In the music world, Jim and Kamran's war of words continued through lyrics and interviews. Jim's new album dropped with fiery verses addressing betrayal, loyalty, and survival. Critics praised its raw emotion, while fans dissected every line for clues about the feud. Cam's single quotes Ron fired back with his diss track, which many called one of his most brutal yet. The song left no doubt he wasn't backing down, with sharp lines targeting Jim's leadership and questioning his authenticity. The musical battle captivated the hip-hop community, reigniting old rivalries and alliances. Collaborations were canceled, shows were boycotted, and social media buzzed with speculation about the next move. In the midst of the chaos, an unexpected twist. Jim and Kamran were spotted together at a studio session. Rumors swirled about A secret collaboration, sparking excitement and disbelief. Was this the beginning of peace? Or just another calculated move in their ongoing game? The trio's fans were left on edge, watching every move, waiting for the next chapter to unfold, with emotions running high and stakes higher than ever. The story of Jim Jones, Kamran, and Chrissy promised more drama, more revelations, and maybe, just maybe, a chance for healing. So here we are, at the crossroads of one of the most intense, emotional, and jaw-dropping dramas the hip-hop world has seen in recent memory. Jim Jones, Kamran, and Chrissy have taken us on a roller coaster ride filled with betrayal, heartbreak, raw honesty, and unexpected alliances. From leaked voicemails to diss tracks, secret meetings to reality TV deals. This saga has kept fans glued to their screens, hungry for every new detail. But what comes next? Will these fractured relationships ever find a way to heal? Can the bonds of family and friendship withstand the weight of ambition, pride, and hurt? Or are we witnessing the slow unraveling of a once tight-knit circle? Things for sure, the story isn't over. New chapters will unfold, secrets will be revealed, and loyalties will be tested again and again. And as fans, all we can do is watch, speculate, and hope for a resolution that brings peace rather than more pain. If you've been following this drama, now's the time to make your voice heard. What do you think about Jim's and Kamran's feud? Is Chrissy the glue holding it all together or a catalyst for chaos? Who do you side with? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive, and subscribe for more exclusive updates on your favorite stars and their stories. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of the latest drama, gossip, and behind-the-scenes scoops. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, 'cause in this game, the next twist is always just around the corner.